Hello and welcome to BeamNG.drive. Today I'm going to take a look at the Ibishu Claria. The Claria is a station wagon, Japanese station wagon, but you can also have it in left-hand drive for the West market, European and United States and basically all the rest of the world. The base models have two engine choices. You can have a 2.4 or a 2.6 inline 6. These are the two engines you can choose from. The inside, you can see it has high quality details. You can see the mirrors work pretty good. The middle one, it's low quality, probably also because of my settings, but it still works. The dash lights up when I turn on the lights. The indicators work, you can see left and right. And now let's take a look at the outside again, because this vehicle also has all the latches working. You can see the boot, the doors, and the engine bay. This is the big camera. Okay, this is the big engine. For a 2.6, it's pretty big. A pretty small but very interesting detail about this mod, it's probably my favorite detail about it, is that the fact on the rear it has two wipers. Are they necessary? Probably not, but they are very cool looking. I love it. The Claria comes with 23 configurations. Most of them are just standard models with minor differences, like the engine, the 2.4, the 2.6, the side of the driving, left and right, and minor aesthetical differences, like for example I was using the 260GS that has plastic or rubber on the bumpers, and for example the GX 2600 it's all metal on the bumper, so these are minor changes, like also the hubcaps and the wheels. Some versions have a two-tone paint job, which I think it's pretty cool, like for example the Lux 2.6 that has a very nice purple and black paint job, lovely. It also has unique configurations, like for example the taxi and the police, both from Japan, because they also have it says JDM, but you can also see the characters on the paint on the side, and also have some tuning and racing configurations. Now I'm going to go and read the descriptions for the unique configurations because they are funny. Like for example, the vehicle I was using is just a USDM base model equipped with a 2.6 liter i6. The unique configuration have unique lines. For example, the Derby, wee only because there is police written on the rear door. I like it, it's funny. For example, the Tuner, a historic car ruin, I mean made better with a KL Sports Flare kit and a beautiful yellow paint job. And I agree with this opinion, historic car ruined, because if you take an old car and customize it, you are a criminal. Okay? If you want to customize a vehicle, you have to buy it when it's new. Like if this vehicle was customized in 1976, no problems. Now, criminal, straight to jail. The drift configuration, what could go wrong cramming 330 horsepower into a 70s boat? Understandable statement. And the race one, it's probably my favorite description, fast lol. I like it, it's funny. And now I'm conveniently spawned close to my favorite wall on grid map. I have 3 vehicles. Let's do some crash testing. The first one is the 260GS, the base configuration I was looking at the beginning of the video. So we have a 96 km/h crash that does a lot of damage to the vehicle. Okay, let's turn off the engine, please. So we have a lot of bending both on the roof and on the floor. The drive shaft shattered. Also, the driver got shattered by the steering rack. Look, there is no space between the seat and the steering wheel, so where a person should be. I think that the driver is completely dead. Also, from the top, we can see the doors are exploded outside. This doesn't look like a safe vehicle at all, considering that in the late 70s, safety standards should have been better than this, in my opinion. Anyway, the damage model is pretty good. I like it. Look at this. Pretty satisfying, except for the fan sticking out the front. I don't like it. It's a detail that I never like in any video game. It's like this. I'll take it. But it's not a detail I'm really passionate about. The next vehicle in line is the Lux 2600, the one with the cool purple and black paint job. And now let's hit the 260 GS. Okay, perfect. Engine damage. Am I crash welded? No, perfect. So, damage on the Lux. It seems like the drive shaft should have been broken, because it's not attached to the gearbox anymore. And it seems like it has some minor bending, especially on the bottom. At least it looks like to me. Even though the drive shaft didn't broke, because I hit a softer target, the front is pretty smashed. Yeah, it's caved in, especially on the lower part. From the top, I don't think the doors have a lot of damage. It seems like they are safe. Also, the driver is safe. You can see it still has his rib cage in one piece, probably, if he was wearing a seatbelt. And let's take a look at the first one. Okay, this one. Oof. Of course, it got pushed against the wall, but I was more interested in the back. So the back caved in. The door is about half a meter inside the boot. But I think still the model looks pretty good. It has, of course, some spikes, some triangles with a bit lower quality, but I think it's pretty good. Pretty good damage. Also the drive shaft going inside the ground. Nice. Okay, let's put the Lux back against this one. Oh, actually I have a better idea. Okay. First of all, let's change vehicle using the van. I wanted to use this because this doesn't have rear glasses. So I just wanted to see how it looks like. And it's also a weird configuration, because if you open the back doors, you don't have seats. So these doors, I'm not saying they are useless, but mostly useless. Anyway, I want to do a side hit on the light blue one. Let's see if I'm able to do it. Oof, perfect. So let's move out the way the van that has more damage than the Lux. Just look at the bending on the hood, and also on the chassis. The gear, the drive shaft as well is outside of its place, but it still works. And in this we have also bending on a door, because the vehicle I hit was already against a wall, so the damage was a bit higher. The front is smashed, but the driver, even in this case, is alive. Ooh, on this side, the roof and the bottom bending are way more evident, but it still works, and the driver is probably still alive. Now, the 260 GS, oof. This vehicle got hit so hard, the camera shifted. Yeah, I reset the camera in this position. So, yeah, pretty broken. And on the side, oof, yeah, this doesn't look very safe. Also, this side is completely destroyed as well. And apart from few details, like the gearbox, not that much, but the drive shaft and the steering wheel, oh, terrible. They're sticking out a lot. The damage model of the mechanical parts could be improved a little bit, but I think overall the damage model of the Claria is pretty good. For a quick test drive, I'm using the GT 2400. This is how it looks like. It has mirrors on the fenders. Pretty cool detail. And I'm on Django Rock Island trying to kill my PC with the AI and also the recording. And let's see how this vehicle handles. I think overall it's a pretty good vehicle. I have no big complaints about it. Okay. Oh, the TADS. Bye bye. No, it's not the TADS. It's the other one. I forgot the name. Anyway. Got clear of the traffic jam. Now we have a almost proper road. And I'm not having issues. It's driving good. It isn't snappy. And it isn't also understeering. Probably a little complaint can be done about the brakes. Are not excellent. So you can do emergency braking and expect it to be all right. But yeah, just like that, I was slamming on the brakes and I tapped. That was the mirror. But I think overall this vehicle has a nice handling. I'm having no issues cruising through this traffic at 90 kilometers per hour, and they are stuck. So let's reverse before I get stuck as well. Thank you. Let's see. Also, oh, almost 50 kilometers per hour in reverse. It's pretty fast. As you can see, brakes not the best, but decent. Also, the wheels don't spin, apart from that acceleration, because I was flat out, so it's understandable. But if you do a mad acceleration in traffic, if you are already going, it doesn't spin the wheels, so it's also safe, because it doesn't lose control on the smallest accelerations. Pretty fine. Let's see, uphill, it takes up speed pretty good. Not smash on the vehicles, please. This series, bye bye. Overtaking, no problem. Just some understeering, but it's manageable. Ooh, a Bok B50. Oof, the temptation, this game is tempting me. And so far, even on narrow roads, I'm able to avoid obstacles. Oh, yeah, front brakes are fading. And as I told you, the brakes are the only complaint about this vehicle, because while you are on the wrong side, what is happening here? This is not... What are you doing? Dumb AI. They wanted to see the scenery, probably. So, the brake fading and sometimes the understeering are the only... I'm not saying issues, because if you drive normally, the brakes probably won't fade. Now I'm just accelerating and braking hard to test it. So I think on a nice Monday driving to work, you will have no problem. And as you can see, the brake fading, I almost smashed in the Pessima. So anyway, I think this is a good showcase of the driving capabilities of the Claria in a, let's say, almost normal environment, because you can't have normal AI in this game at this time. So let's crash it. Let's find a good spot to crash. So while keep driving like a maniac, because this overtakes. Oops! What? That's not my fault, and I'm going to hit this bumper of the... No, okay. I didn't hit his bumper, but he stopped in the middle of the road. Okay, we had a crash, but was that necessary? Not. No, it wasn't necessary. You could stop right here. On the left, there was some space. No, you stopped in the middle of the road, just like these Vivas. These mad drivers. Woo, a B50. Now I'm going to hit it. Bye. I love it. I'm never gonna uninstall the B50, because when I see it in traffic, I can kill it. Anyway, I'm not finding a good spot to crash this vehicle because there is a lot of vegetation on the side of the road or barriers, so I'm not finding a good spot. I'm a little bit upset. I'm not okay, now I'm going to do a head-on collision because I'm tired. Or maybe just a rear end on the broccoli. Okay, I'm happy. I did damage to my vehicle. Hey! You almost hit me. Crazy drivers around here. Now it's time to test the race configuration, because it looks very cool, and in testing I found it unusual, but interesting. So let's start. The first gear has not the best acceleration, but it's pretty good. So, but this vehicle, this configuration, the race version, has 2 points. One is bad, and it's the brakes. The brakes fade easily. So you can't even do a lap of a track without the brakes starting to fade, and it's not ideal on a racing vehicle since you have to do a lot of laps of tracks. And the other one, I'm not sure if it's good or bad or what is it, but it is way more oversteering than you would expect, but it's incredibly controllable. I don't know why, because with oversteering vehicle I'm also spinning around, and I see the ghost trees are still around. Wow. But it's a very unusual oversteer, because look at this. Why it doesn't need to oversteer like that, but I didn't crash. I managed to keep it under control even if I'm bad at racing and talking. Also, especially on beam, because racing in beam it's incredibly difficult. But look at that. A lot of oversteering, a lot of tail out during the corner, but no issues whatsoever. So that's weird. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad. Probably is more on the bad side because it will shred the wheels. But I think it's an enjoyable vehicle to drive around in this game, because we don't have damage on the tires. So unless you flattened the tires, you have no issues whatsoever with all this oversteering. And I think it's also funny. It's also fun to drive, because it has this unique feeling that you are going to spin, but you are not going to spin. Probably, in my opinion, this has the steering rack of the drift configurations. Okay, this was a lap of the track, and as you can see, brake fading, because these wheels seems to turn a lot, in my opinion. I'm not sure. And they are also pretty fast at turning. Maybe it's just my idea, but I think this vehicle is incredibly good. For example, now I spun it because I wanted to do it, but I did a lap of the track without spinning once, and I think, for me, it's a very good and interesting configuration. And now the descent for one last crash. I got the tuner Claria, the one that got modified recently, so it deserves to be destroyed. Let's see how it will go. So, the boring flip, but a huge first hit on these cubes. The engine is damaged, not destroyed. The drive shaft. Okay, now both the engine and the drive shaft are destroyed, which is believable. Let's see, small bumps, and it stopped about in the middle of the descent of the ramp. So damage is important. The front, it's shifted the engine a lot. Probably it's almost inside. Yeah, let's go on the inside. The center dash shifted back because the engine got pushed back a lot. The side, some damage, not bad. The back, not huge damage. So the biggest damage is on the front and on the left-hand side. Anyway, this was a quick look at the Ibishu Claria. Thanks for watching. Bye bye!